All right. I know we've had a little bit of a hiatus. We apologize. But we're back with the Big Three. I'm Heather Harrington, along with Will West.
Yo.
Will, one of the reasons why we were off so long is because you were down in Hoover, Alabama at SEC Media Days.
We were, yes.
Yes. Recap it for me. What stood out to you most about Tennessee's day in the spotlight?
Tennessee tried to give everyone nothing. To me, Tennessee squandered a great opportunity because you have new faces of the program. You've turned over at every real position where you're going to generate any type of publicity. Barnett's gone, Dobbs is gone, Hurd and Kamara are gone. So you have an opportunity to kind of rebrand your team and to grab a lot of publicity. People want to talk to the new players that are replacing those guys. Tennessee gave you nothing.
Crickets, man. I mean,
nothing.
I love Emmanuel Mosley. I think he is a great story. He was one of those two-star guys that has developed his role into a huge one on this team. Crickets.
Yeah.
You opened the microphone and people were walking away.
Yeah, no, I mean, people did walk out of Butch's time in the main room as well because of some of the answers that he gave. The problem's this. When you intentionally try to give nothing, the only thing that will be accentuated is the negative.
Yes.
Because there is no positive that people are actually taking away from it. So Tennessee had an opportunity here to grab headlines, to have people talk about them on the first day of SEC Media Days. Zero, nothing. They blew the opportunity.
Yeah, they didn't get the opportunity to really push their own narrative. And so whenever that comes out, you don't bring in these big personalities that can help you push the agenda that you're trying to push, then you leave it wide open for people, like you said, to interpret what they want to and to usually focus on the negatives.
And you're not going to bat 1,000. That's the other thing, is you're not going to bat 1,000, so when you screw up, those are the things that people are going to take away from it.
Very true. Now, getting specific, Tennessee's SEC takeover was earlier this week. Was there anything that you would have liked to seen on the takeover that maybe didn't quite make the cut?
Some of the big moments that I think a lot of people in East Tennessee want to relive. I think it's basketball, Tennessee versus Memphis, Tennessee against Kansas. After the suspensions and the arrest that you had the night before, that would have been cool. I would have loved to have seen some of the old Raycom sports stuff and Jefferson Pilot sports stuff that you used to have in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. But I understand SEC Network wants to brand their own content, so you get a lot of that.
I'll tell you one of my favorite games. I would have liked to seen some of those Casey Clausen wins down in Gainesville, because we got to start channeling that for this season, right? Also, that Orange Bowl win where Tennessee broke Miami's just super long winning streak. Now, those were the highlights of my time at Tennessee, so that's probably why I'm pretty partial to it. And I don't think they were playing anything with Bruce Pearl in it. No,
they were not. You're right.
Wasn't going to happen. But I did love the Rick Barnes win over the Kentucky Wildcats.
That was cool.
That was nice to wake up to at 8 a.m. All right, now getting Tennessee specific. We are just around the corner from fall camp starting. They're actually going to start on July 29th. So that is super close. What do you think Tennessee's strength is going to be walking in day one of fall camp?
You know, the weird thing is this. If you look at the players, the offensive line and the depth, the offensive line should be the strength, the unit that is the biggest strength for this team, but they underachieved last year, so you're going to have to show us that that's going to be the strength, right? Right now, I'll say two unit groups, one on defense, the secondary. I think that Todd Kelly Jr. is a legitimate NFL prospect for next year. I think that bringing in Shaq Wiggins, having Rashawn Golden healthy and in a position where he knows where to play, feels comfortable playing there, and you have a lot of young guys that are vying for other positions. And if Justin Martin's played as well as they said in the spring, then Justin Martin maybe can be a strength at the corner too. That on defense. On the offense, I'll say quarterbacks. I think whether it's Dormady, I think where it's Garantano, those guys are going to be fine, and they put a lot on them in Butch Jones' offense, but I think either one of these guys is going to be able to handle it. Multiple years in the system, a dedicated quarterback coach now. I think that that's, to me, the biggest strength probably on the offensive side.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you there. The days, and this is no offense to former guys that wore the orange, okay, mad respect to you, but the days of playing a Nick Stevens, the days of playing a Nathan Peterman at the quarterback spot, I think are long gone. Butch Jones has brought in two highly qualified quarterbacks that I feel very confident in handing the ball to either one of them and possibly working out some sort of two quarterback system. I'm not a huge fan of that. I want to go with one guy, but I feel great about whichever guy they choose. Then on the defensive side of the ball, Jonathan Kongbo intrigues me the most from this offseason. He's down to a great weight. He is super fast, very strong, and I think he's motivated to keep everybody from not missing Derek Barnett too much. So I think he is really going to work hard, and I want to see how much he really can get into the backfield and disrupt these other quarterbacks that we're going to be playing against.
I feel like football's the biggest priority for Jonathan Jonathan Kongbo for the first
Absolutely.
time in his career.
Yeah, and I think he's got a good attitude because he's playing where he wants to play.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all shakes out. That's going to wrap it up for the Big Three. We'll be back in just 7 short days.